Games left to play, three series left. India are entering the final stretch of their World Cup preparations. It begins with three ODIs in West Indies against a team which, for the first time in the history of any men's World Cup, will not be part of the competition. Welcome to ESPN Cricket for Match Day. A big few months lie ahead for a format which is usually fighting for relevance. And we're delighted to welcome back an old friend on our live programming, Wasim Jaffer. Good to see you. It's been a while. Interesting few months, where for a change, and after a long time, ODIs will take priority in in all the talk around cricket.
Yes, thanks, Yash. It's nice to be back again. And yes, obviously the World Cup is around the corner. So obviously, one day cricket will take priority. Obviously, we had T20 World Cup, and obviously everyone played T20, T20s at that time. So now it's time for the 50 overs to, uh, take precedence. So yeah, interesting times. I'm actually looking forward to see the kind of 11 India picks and things ahead. 15, 16 one days to go before we play the World Cup. So interesting times.
Yes, and it was quite an interesting one and a well received 11 that you named, although forced changes in that because Mohammad Siraj has been pulled out of the squad. We'll come to that. We'll come to team news in just a bit. We can inform you that India have won the toss. They have elected to bowl first in Bridgetown, Barbados. A little bit of rain had been around in the week leading up to the game, but Rohit Sharma says it's a clear plan. There's something we're looking to find, and that's the hope. Before we get to the team news and about this match, more broadly, Wasim, since we mentioned that number, it's 12 games, three in West Indies, a maximum of six at the Asia Cup, and then three against Australia at home. What outlook do you wish to see from India in this final leg of preparations?
Well, I mean, obviously the outlook needs to be very positive. And, there are obviously uncertainties over Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Jasprit Bumrah for the starters, because I feel they are the certain starters if they are fit and available. And then again, who's the backup wicket keeper? And, if Hardik Pandya is fit enough to bowl 7, 8 overs, I feel he holds a lot of importance. And then who's the wrist spinner we are going to pick and what kind of combination we are thinking of in the World Cup. So all those questions we'll find out in those 12 one days.
Aside from the personnel who are picked and also how they perform, how they deliver, is clarity of thought process within the team management the big need of the hour, given what we've seen in the last few World Cup cycles, even if they were other formats?
Yeah, I mean, we just need to, pick the players and we need to back them. It's not the time to chop and change. And like I said, KL, Shreyash, and Jasprit Bumrah, they hold a lot of importance. They are very important players for this World Cup. And how much game time will they have before the World Cup starts? So I think that is very important. And again, all the guys who are we thinking that they are going to play in the World Cup, we just need to stick with them and not chop and change too much.
From the West Indian perspective, important to bring a word in for them. You'd have thought this is a World Cup preparation series. Obviously, enough has been spoken about the shock and the fact that they will not be at a World Cup. But how do West Indies view their ODI cricket in the near future, given how far away the next ODI World Cup is? And in this particular squad, who are the players who, according to you, can challenge India the most?
Well, first and foremost, they need to obviously compete, compete with India and go neck to neck in as many games as possible. And obviously, like I said in the preview, also their senior players need to stand up. Unfortunately, they haven't got Nicholas Pooran and Jason Holder here, but whoever is getting an opportunity, there's a lot of youngsters around. Uh, but the players that I feel hold a lot of importance is obviously Shea Hope. He's a captain and he's in a very good form. Shimran Hetmeyer has been back again. He holds a lot of importance, and all the other youngsters that are around. They've been playing in the World Cup qualifiers, so they've been around. So they need to stand up, and for them, it's important to believe that they can beat this Indian team. If they think and they do beat Indian team, I feel they'll get a lot of confidence, and that's what they need at this moment. They can believe, whatever happened in the past, just leave it behind and just, start fresh. And if at all they beat India, that will be a very confidence booster for them.
Yeah, and it will need a fresh approach. Leave aside their troubles of the recent past against India since 2017. I think it's only 2 wins for West Indies in about 20 plus ODIs. We do have team news in. India's playing 11, which a lot of us have been waiting for. It's hard to call. There it is on your screens. There is a debutant right at the end of that list, Mukesh Kumar, who got his test cap in Port of Spain, now gets his maiden ODI call up. He, Umran Malik, and Shardul Thakur are the three pacers, along with Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav being the two spinners. The top three was on expected lines. Number four is where the keeper choice had to be made, and Ishan Kishan has been picked over Sanju Samson, which means Wasim, once again, as has been the case quite often, we're left wondering when will Sanju Samson get a go?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, they are looking at Ishan Kishan as a backup uh, opener as well as obviously the backup wicket keeper. Uh, and then Sanju probably will bat in the middle order, so I thought he'll get an opportunity first. But again, that's surprising. So who's that third opener? Probably Rituraj Gaikwad or I don't know who, because Rituraj Gaikwad has been picked, in the Asian Games. Uh, so again, I don't know who's that third opener is, but I'm a little surprised not seeing Sanju there, and I'm surprised at not seeing Akshar Patel there, because I thought when Ravindra Jadeja wasn't available, he was really brilliant with ball and bat. Uh, and I feel going forward, India need to think about playing three spinners because Jadeja and Akshar can bat at 7 and 8, and they are very important players. And then again, we can pick three seamers, and I mean, it's all provided how much Hardik Pandya can bowl. But this is something which I expected. I expected India to go with three seamers and Hardik Pandya the fourth seamer, and they'll drop one spinner. So I'm a little surprised, but I expected this.
All right. So going back to that Ishan Kishan call, do you think it's his left-handedness that is winning him this duel with Samson? Given that India do find themselves in a situation where almost no one in the mix of players available happens to be left-handed in your batting options.
Uh, it could be, but again, you know, uh, I'm a little surprised that Ishan Kishan haven't batted there in the one day internationals. Just because he's a left-hander, that's a tricky one. A good player is a good player, whether he's a right-hander or a left-hander. It doesn't matter. And like I said in my preview also, if Akshar Patel would have played, I would have backed him to bat at number 5 or number 6. If things are going well, because he's a good enough batter to bat at number 4 or 5 or 6. So I think they are probably, in my mind, I feel they're probably thinking at Ishan Kishan as the backup wicket keeper after KL Rahul. Is that all I can think of?
Right. That's that on the players who don't feature. Let's spend a few minutes on the ones who do feature. And let's start with Mukesh Kumar, Wasim, because he gets his debut a week after making his maiden test bow, which was his first India appearance. Having seen him in that test and whatever you've seen of him earlier in the IPL included, what does he bring to the mix as a white ball pace option?
Well, obviously, he brings a lot of promise. He's got a lot of things going right for him. I thought he bowled well in the Test match. He can swing the ball. Whatever little I've seen of him in the IPL, I thought he had a lot of clarity. He bowled his Yorkers really well, so I thought he had a plan, and he executed his plans really well. Uh, and I feel going forward, he can be one of the bowlers who can. Obviously, we are playing test matches in South Africa, so he could be that guy. and it's not a bad idea if Siraj is not available to look at Mukesh Kumar and see how he does in ODI cricket also. Because I feel, he's got a good action. He can, clock 140 plus. So it will be interesting to see how he goes in these ODIs.
And he will be part, as he was in the tests, of what is quite an inexperienced bowling lineup, because Mohammad Siraj, of course, was pulled out of this tour just a day prior to this ODI series, a precautionary measure after he complained of a sore ankle after the test. And that makes sense because India do need to cotton wool their certainties given all the injury issues they've been surrounded by. But that means, Wasim, that Shardul Thakur, with 35 matches and 50 wickets, is now the most experienced seamer in this attack. Uh, what are the boxes he needs to tick if he has to be a strong contender when India are looking at that broader World Cup plan?
Well, you need to show the experience into performance. Again, he is not a certainty at this point of time, and he's after Hardik Pandya, he's probably the next all-rounder in the side, the pace bowling all-rounder. So he needs to bowl well, and he's got the knack of picking wickets. So he needs to do that, bowl well in the middle phases. Probably he'll need to bowl in the death also, because Mukesh is very new, and Umran obviously is very new to the ODI circuit also. So he need to show that experience, and whatever opportunities that he get as a batter also, he need to do well. He's shown a lot of promise as a batter. He just need to do that, grab his opportunities, and if he does that, he could be that fourth seamer, 3+1 fast bowler, come all rounder in the World Cup squad.
Right. Whichever way you look at it, there'll be so much to talk about come the end of this game, given the whole mix of players, who's not played, who's played. Let's take you through the West Indies lineup before we wrap this. They field quite a changed look from the side that played their last ODI, which obviously was towards the end of that forgettable World Cup qualifiers campaign in Zimbabwe. Shai Hope, the captain, also the wicket keeper. Alec Athanas gets a go at number 4, impressed in his debut Test series against India. Also had a great ODI debut, the fastest half century on ODI debut a few months ago. Shimron Hetmeyer is back after a long while absent from the ODI setup. He has 2 ODI hundreds against India, so India will be wary of him. You look at the bowling mix, West Indies have gone with a lot of fast bowling all-rounders. Kyle Mayers, Romario Shepherd, Dominic Drakes, all seamers who can bat, and there's Jaden Seals, and then the 2 spinners in Yannick Karaya and Gudakesh Motti. Wasim, thoughts on that lineup? Highly changed from what we saw in Zimbabwe, and suggests that West Indies too obviously are trying to look ahead to a future call.
Yeah, I mean the batting still looks pretty good. Like I said, Shai Hope, Kyle Mayers, then Robman Powell, Shimron Hetmeyer, Ali Cathanes has looked good. Brandon King has been around for a while. So I would say the batting is still pretty good. The bowling is little inexperienced, but you can see the promise there. Dominic Drakes have been around. He's been playing around the league. Jaden Seals have done well. Romario Shepherd has played in the IPL. So they've got a little bit of experience. But like I said, it's a good opportunity for them to test against this strong Indian lineup. And if they do perform well, and if they do, beat India, that will be a huge confidence booster for them. So they just need to do their basics right, and chip in with good performances and compete neck to neck with India. And you never know. They've still got some experience there, especially in their batting lineup.
Yes, it's been a while since they had a win against India, especially in this format. Can West Indies change that? How will India go with this new setup, an inexperienced pace attack? So many questions that we posed before the series, so many questions that have come after this toss. And I'm sure there will be many through the length of this game. Wasim Jaffer will have his thoughts ready for you. If you're in India when you wake up tomorrow morning, you will have his post-match insights available on ESPN Cricket 4. So Wasim, I look forward to your company at the end of this night. Hopefully not a lot of rain, and we can wrap it at a relatively saner time of 3 a.m. IST. So that's it from us on ESPN Cricket 4 Match Day. Be sure to catch all the updates and everything around from the world of cricket on the ESPN Cricket Info app. See you soon.